Anyway, we're at Reed's house. Secondhand embarrassing. Oof. How do you shrug off the wokeness this fast, Anon? What immense power do you possess deep down inside that allows you to shed the shame that you have bioaccumulated so quickly? I find it impressive that you were capable of feeling cringe for your friends when you've already had D&D with them. I feel like that's a higher barrier. You know, it's more personal and interactive instead of being there by proxy. How much lefty bullshit stick can spew sometimes. It doesn't really feel like that's a constant through line, though. Also, that also goes for the Goodbye Volcano High. Like, it talks about it. It never really feels like it's a central talking point. I guess that's the Sage scene. Like, the one thing. Just bleeds into the background fairly easily. Well, it's called the Kettle Black there. Yeah. And you should probably see a doctor about that. Might have been exposed to lethal levels of cringe. Anyway, there's like a bunch of cars here. There's a whole bunch of people. Maybe the base cops with their hand full with celebrations. Maybe they're dealing, you know, with the protesters and the counter protesters, trying to keep them from beating each other up and blowing up half the city. Davis emerged from Rosa's car. White girl music. It's vapid and obnoxious. No, it's supposed to be unobnoxious, right? Like weird backdrop music. Won't be what I expected. Breed's brother invited his friends over too. We do not need Orson to become an established character at all. If I recall correctly from the comments, he does. He's a smoker, so he's a junkie. Tail whipping? Ugh. Again, a lot of weird Snoot game physical violence getting carried over. You don't know that Goodbye Volcano High's cast are weenies, right? Again, they're weenies. Although, admittedly, that might be because, again, the game engine sucks ass. And they couldn't do any of this stuff properly without a lot of overhead that they didn't want to bother with. Or couldn't, perhaps. The Watsonian loser. The Watsonian version compared to the Doylist Chad. Just kiss already. That's what Rosa wants to say. Also, if you look at the overhead shots from Goodbye Volcano High, there doesn't seem to be a garden at all. Like, Reed's house is... One, it's actually really small. If you see how big the garage is, there's room for, like, maybe a living room, a bathroom, and, like, one bedroom. It is not a full atomic unit family house. It is fucking tiny. It has no second floor. It maybe has, like, a little space behind the garage. Like, damn, dude. Damn. Again, I'm starting to realize the reason this bothers me so much is that rarely does it try to sell you on something, right? It doesn't use fanciful terms. Like, it doesn't describe it as a jungle that has only just been tamed. It's always just, this is the corporeal layout of the structure. They all graduated. Ew! I hate graduates, especially college graduates. They think they're so much better than me, with their degrees and signs that they have the capacity and discipline to graduate. Oh no, Anon, you will never achieve anything with your life. You just refuse to focus. Well, I'll have you know... what was I talking about again? Man, everyone's dressed up like cartoon characters. Like, would it fucking kill you to not go with this? Why is Alvin wearing his vest? Like, Alvin's vest makes sense to some extent, because he does go to school and stuff, but why would he show up at a fucking event like this in, again, a school uniform? I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to. I'm pretty sure there's, like, rules. You're not supposed to wear a school uniform outside of school. Like that. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. Because uniforms are very much discretionary in terms of what the rules are. You made it! Yeah, haha! You made it! Also feels really weird that they have this habit of driving past Cuvier and then giving him the finger. That feel, you know, I could see Sage doing it because Sage likes to be out there. I could see Stella doing it because Stella's out there. But Reed seems too chill. Rosa seems too introverted, as does Fang. So like half of the people here wouldn't be too into it. Maybe Fang would do it after a couple of drinks. You know, when they're a little looser. Or if they've gotten riled up. But Fang's energy and like passion seems to be very much in music. I don't see how Cuvier fits into that. Chicken dips and chips. Very disappointing, Mr. Moose. Made or brought something. Anon, you can't make anything. Your hands are the hands of a destroyer. You try to cook a burger, you end up with a pile of charred ash. Be saying someone should actually read the fucking text, maybe? Me, apparently. Man, Orson's bros are all freeloaders, too. Damn. Orson would kill you to get some better friends. Ew. She's just giving you a hard time. It's like getting stuff ready for the grill. I remember a comment saying that this whole scene with Orson might as well not exist, and I kind of agree that, like, the cast is still weirdly growing, despite the fact that I don't know what they're for. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Kitchen itself is a U-shape. How does Reed's fucking kitchen matter at all? Like, you spend, like, every fucking room gets 2 goddamn paragraphs. Why? Who gives a shit about Reed's goddamn kitchen? Like, why can't you just describe it as it looks like it's unfinished? You've got a POV, you're allowed to shortcut. Well, a person POV. An opinionated person. Hold on, I need you to understand, like, when I say that, do I still have that tab open? I guess I don't. I wanted to show you the, Reed's place and, like, how tiny it is. I appreciate that you're constantly repeating the fact that he's tall and broad. He's only tall because you're on the floor, Anon. I don't know how to feel about the fact that very often people in this are described, like, men are described as big and strong. It's a really weird recurring thing. No man is allowed to be a little wimpy, or present themselves as wimpy. Like, maybe Reed is strong, but he just doesn't carry himself like a strong guy, so his shoulders aren't squared up, so he doesn't look as broad. He tries to keep himself small because he's a bit nervous, you know. Let characters' physical appearance not necessarily dictate their personalities. Nice to finally meet your acquaintance. Fucking acquaintance? Why wouldn't you say nice to meet you? He shoots non hostility. He's a passive mob, don't beat him up. He's covered in fucking body hair. He's covered in that goddamn furries have body hair thing. Where I'm like, why? I don't like this. It's just like, I'm done. Why couldn't it just be done? I mean, why not have this scene not happen at all? We're spending quite a few words on, We're spending like over 1,000 words just establishing that Orson exists. And And I would like to remind you that most books don't spend this much time on establishing a character that seems to exist out of nowhere. We're already 9 chapters in. And I don't know what Orson's really going to contribute, considering that he's described as mostly absent. Like, it might be fun if you have a lot of pacing to, like, break up a scene, you know, a little rest period to lighten up the mood a little. But we don't need that, because the plot barely gets going. Do we really need a break if we only move for 10 minutes? If I fuck up, everyone's gonna know. Ground Auroch. Aurochs, if I recall correctly, are considered the primordial cow of sorts, like the Ur cow, before they were domesticated. I don't know. 20% lean, 80% fat, 100% concentrated power of grill. Snag all the. Hold on, we could do one for cattle if I can get remember the name. I just need to remember the percentages. It's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power, Phil. Ooh. So it's an A, B, B, C, D, D rhyme scheme. I'm not gonna spend my time on this. We gotta get through this fucking chapter. If I ever bother with this, you'll hear it later. But it'll be funny. Fucking concentrated power of grill. Pressure in plane. Like, it's hard to fit in things like sinew because there's a very specific syllable count you have to work within. Except for the herbivores. Because in Gabavik, Ohio, the herbivores have flat fingertips. More like hooves than like human nails than claws. Honestly, wouldn't the tips be made out of something that's more tear resistant? Because that sounds like a real design nightmare. It's burgering time. Jesus fucking Christ! Are we actually doing Anon makes burgers? We've spent like a whole fucking page for Anon to make goddamn burgers. Like, I know he's trying to compensate for the fact that he didn't bring anything to the potluck, but come on, dude. What's the emotional core? What's the point of this scene? Drill down. Find it. Put it somewhere else if you must. Real dangerous if you don't keep your eye on him. Still too much for dudes like you. I can handle liquor. It ain't booze, dude. Something else to keep you chill. Oh, we're bringing in Carf. Some kind of narcotic. You had a token human friend. That was no, you know, no. No, a body. Me and an ex. Ugh. Pass it out of the door. What's the cold start of the hit? Can't handle the cold. Close to the equator or south of it? What the fuck do you mean south of it? That's not how the equator works! What? Oh my god. You're talking about... Oh god, fucking damn it. Equator. What's it called again? What are those lines called again? The tropics. They're called the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. They are... That's what you're talking about, you dumb motherfucker. You're not talking about south of the equator. South of the equator, you just end up going back into the same climate, you idiot. The equator is the mirror point. You go north, it gets colder. You go south, it gets colder. The equator is like, and the tropics are like the central heat belt. Excepting, of course, local climates and conditions. Like, do you actually fucking think that Africa is warm because it's south of the equator? It's warm because the equator is like right there. Holy shit. People fucking forget this all the goddamn time. But, hold up. The equator goes straight through the middle of Africa. There is, like, do you know where the south of Africa is, the little south tip? About the height of Europe. It does not go that far down. Like Argentina and what's it called? I think Peru is the big one. Whatever. The South American countries do go that far south. But, like, we have a way northern landmass. But I don't know how Pangea works, but it doesn't make fucking sense that it's just warmer south of the equator. Also, technically speaking, Volcalty are based on the southern hemisphere. Which means it's at least south of the equator. I run the mill. I am the mailman. Who the hell drug tests their goddamn mailman? Same holidays all the actual government do. It gets pretty tight. I don't like that Reed's smart. I feel like, again, it's like weird port overs, which should fundamentally alter characters or at least change their perspective on things, and just doesn't. That makes some fucked up patties. Again with the fucking pasta. You know what this sounds like? You know what this fucking, like, constant insistence on, like, I'm collecting views, I'm going to shitpost. It sounds a lot like someone who isn't at all familiar with 4chan trying desperately to fit in, like, how do you do, fellow kids? Hello, my dudes and my broskies, you know? It's like it's using the terms in hopes of covering up the fact that they don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about. I don't, but I know that if you're more subtle and you season appropriately, people don't pick up on the fact that you just dumped a whole can of salt on this thing. It's seasoning, not the meat. We have now officially spent a few thousand words on fucking burgers. And I don't know what this achieved other than talking about, like, the fact that Reed is smart, which you should do in another way by having Reed actually demonstrate his intellect. And the fact that Orson is a guy. Shit. The wall, as people like to call it jokingly. Looks half drunk. Oh my god. You know, I kind of could understand that they let the kids have, like, a sip of beer, you know, for the party. I find it less believable that people are getting, like, actually drunk at this. You know, your uncle lets you have a sip of beer because he's cool. Whole different story if it's Reed's house and they just straight up get slammed. Eyes litting towards me. What a great way to describe that she's being very sexy. Why not just say she's making bedroom eyes? Just be overt. Be a little playful. Stop being so fucking coy and describing everything in metric and imperial units. Describe them in vibes, man. Sell me on the vibes. It's all writing ever is, really. It's kind of sore from making balls. You know, I do massages for my auntie all the time. I could just sort it out. Tension's a killer. And if I get my hands on you, I can get a good bite. Oh. Stella, that's a raw burger. Can't eat that. Just let me live. I might be raw, but I can digest meat. It's not raw meat, I think. Wanna go to reading? Jesus fucking Christ, don't give readings when you're drunk! Cards are gonna be shit. They're gonna be covered in booze. Gotta give it a second to go for the cook who's recipe. I haven't tried anybody yet! You're a bit cooler to give you credit for. He's a faggot. You literally called him a fucking faggot. And you're like, I will be cordial, but I won't be a friend. Like, for a guy who literally said that he will not be a friend with a faggot, you sure are buddying up with the gay guys around here. Orson's gonna be making out with you by the end of the week, buddy. You're letting them into your life too much. You're exposed to too much cringe woke. Come on, man, please. Anon, get your shit together. This immersion therapy is working a little too well on you, buddy. I said you needed to clean up your act, not drink bleach. What time is it? I love shouting that out loud when it's very unclear how time is passing. Funnily enough, I don't have that issue with, what's it called? Like, I mentioned this about Roadside Picnic. It, in just a couple of pages, just jumps from day to day. I'm never really confused about what time it is, but I am confused about what time it is, right? Like, it never matters to a point that I give a shit. If it's day, I know it's day. If it's not, I know. But, yeah. I kind of like it. Feels more organic, like you're just traveling through time by sheer existence. More than being jerked around by an uncertain author. But yeah, I'd love to say, what time is it? Good old Linkara. And look at him, he's looking. Oh my god, Stella's tarot card. Cards look fancy too. Oh man, they're made out of solid plastic. They can bend a little, just don't snap them. Kind of cute if he finds a card, doesn't care about what's actually on the card, and just slips it in there, and the whole point is that the tarot card actually represents that he's going to isolate himself by hiding behind his phone. Do you get it? Like the card is hiding behind his phone. Do you get it? It's a fun fucking metaphor instead of just being this tired old fucking tarot bullshit. I'm starting to spit. Speaking with consumption, as I was told. You know, I am reminded of the barbecue in Wani, which takes fucking ever for how uninteresting it actually is. It is so slow going. And then you get the whole scene with the painting, which also takes fucking ever. I feel like Fan considering, like, despite all the punk aesthetics, right? He feels like the kind of person who follows the law because they really don't want their career to get affected by anything. You know, they're gonna be the kind where they get access to blow blackjack and hookers, and they're like, no, thank you. I have to watch my weight. Comes with the hand as full as it is. I can't believe today's the fucking purge because an old racist man showed up. Great, glad to know. But performing is a job. You've got something to do, something that you're supposed to be saying and all. There's a certain expectation you can work off of, where social engagements tend to be a bit more freeform. Oh no, No, she's not one of those racist drunks, is she? Don't be a dick. Don't bring that up in the middle of a conversation. Maybe we recognize more about other performers if you had like an online presence. I think that's a thing that's kind of implied, or at least not very present in Goodbye Volcano High. But there is this implication that they don't manage their social media at all. So like, how do you intend to become famous if no one knows you exist, Fang? You're just gonna ride off your skill? What a fucking loser. Doesn't work like that no more, baby. Also, Fang having dated. I think it's implied that Trish at least dated. Reed has someone. But yeah, I think there is an implication that Fang might have had someone, maybe? That's not my priority. I don't have time anymore. Rough. That's rough, buddy. My girlfriend lives across the planet. That's rough, buddy. Ugh, can you please stop replaying the meme? That's rough, buddy. Stella's been eyeing you. Listen, Fang, I'm willing to hook up with a lot of ladies. But a woman that can crush me with her mere presence alone is a bit of a high aim. Don't choke yourself. Don't wreck yourself before you check yourself. Basically flirts with any guy that has a pulse. She does. Ness has been a target for years. She's called him hubby more than once. I think that part of the reason the characters are a little different is it's trying to make them more human. But it goes about in a really weird way. But she knows Reed's gay. He's not bisexual. He's not a traitor of the LGBT kind. I thought the B stood for bisexual. Yeah, it does, but we still give bisexuals the most shit we can. And then we give trans people the most shit, and after that, I guess we give the gay shit, because the lesbians get a free pass, you know? Sage is taken. You know, Sage is Sage. As soon as a fact like Reed. Because for some reason you suddenly picked up a massive amount of social awareness skill that doesn't make sense. Honestly, it'd be cuter if it's like, yeah, Sage wants to be in a polycule, but Stella doesn't. I feel like you could sell that concept a bit better. Also, why would Sage being trans be a problem? Are we supposed to be all-inclusive here, buddy? That's like a point of friction that might be interesting. Despite my preconceptions of him. You met him once! You can obviously drill good dang burger. Got that, queer can bake. Turns out the only thing you need to become a good baker is to kiss a man. On the lips. Passionately. Once or twice. Thrice if you want good luck. Every day. Gotta do it daily. Anon, why are you being Inko? Like, again, I don't know who said it. Maybe it was me, but I forgot. But it was someone who said that this Anon, he thinks like Anon, but he talks and walks and acts like Inko. Kids in the neighborhood, not to mention the fucking neighbor's dog. Why would a dog be interested in hate fucking? I can't believe it's you. We have the exact same. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but still, that's good to me. I just think I'll pass. Ugh. Wait. Wait, how? Wait, what? Why do you need someone's fucking... Wait! Do people just walk around with playlists in their pocket? People just do that? This feels really weird and arbitrary to me. But I might just be out of the groove. Also, this man's glancing twice. Gottrish. Locked phone in their hand. You shouldn't tweak like this over. Dad rocked it. She's surprisingly slippery. It's because she's covered in mucus. She has the bug advantage. Just done what you want, I like, and I give it back. I already said what. Listen to your paleo tunes first. Why do you have paleo tunes in Anon? Why aren't you a normal person who listens to whatever the fuck is on 4chan / being recommended on YouTube? Just have no style, have no taste. This Kong has a funny face. Oh no, it's the bad song. Hold up, I might as well pull up the thingamaboober for this, because I don't play the OST too much, but might as well give it a go. Let's go with Sadist. I think that's the one. Insane Dad Rock, dude. Whoa! Don't even know what to say. It's like I'm in a nightmare. Her name is all I can break to my tongue. Trish! We must make out so everyone gets real distracted by straights. It'll work perfectly. They'll be like, ew! A man kissing a woman, that's just unnatural. Oh, that's enough. Give back to him. Is your rifle, dude? Oh, no. Trish, you can't just pull up a motherfucker's porn! That's a crime. Although, admittedly, of all people in the world, I think Trish is one of those people who would look at someone's porn and go, yeah, buddy, perfect. Ugh. I don't even say that as a joke. I feel like Trish is one of the few people who might actually do that and be, like, entirely neutral about the experience. Like, I don't care. Neat, though. It's a big stereotype blacking out for a moment in movies and games. I've experienced it before. I'm experiencing it yet again for just a different reason. Everyone, you know, what's actually going on is that everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's probably like, dude, Trish, apparently this is like a big deal to this dork. Do it frame by frame. I love how no one's actually doing anything, and it's just Anon being a big fucking loser. It's great. Oh, what happened to Trish? I shoved her back something. Ugh, you shoved her back? Really? Oh no. I committed violence, and now that I've been infected with leftist woke cringe, I can't tolerate my own existence. I have to run. Ah! Oh no! You can't run when you're a leftist cringe woke-tard. You have to prance. You have to maintain a polite gallop. Bro, no! Oh, sorry, I mean, brony, no! I, don't look at me. Why, can't you see? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm dead. I can't believe I fucking died. In front of a live studio audience at Nickelodeon Studios Orlando, Nickelodeon Studios Florida. Man, what a crap chapter. I mean, let me read that one guy's, hey, you should probably cut that again. Where is he at the bottom? Yeah. Like, the scene with Reed's brother can be summed up as Reed is rudderless and Orson thinks he needs to be more ambitious. You could have cut it, and nothing would... Or the car scene could have been deleted without losing anything. Yeah, the car scene didn't do anything. The whole, like it's like mocking the leftist stuff. And fair enough, I imagine that kind of tension would exist in a town like this under the circumstances you've portrayed so far. But why would you involve Anon in any of that? That could be like a fun background thing they mention, but not something that Anon needs to be specifically involved with. The pacing is glacial. It took 9 chapters for something to happen. 100,000 fucking words. to get to the goddamn point. That's too much. Anyway, next is chapter 10, which is a shorter one. I think I'm going to do this today, so I have 3 chapters left. It's one of the shorter ones, clocking under 10,000 words. Jesus Christ, I'm glad that you have the restraint to write a normal chapter length. Because your fucking genius is so great. Jesus fucking Christ, the Ice Age moves faster than you do, buddy. Woo! Ugh.